Firstly, talk to me about WrestleMania as an event. What are your obligations to the company leading up to the event? I know there's a big to-do the day before where you're meeting fans, so you're in Atlantic City for a period of time, and you're doing what?
Yeah, well, now it's evolved into a whole fan fest week. This past year we were in Houston. Whole week-long event. It was me and Sergeant Slaughter doing a lot of events together. Autograph sessions, question and answers, interviews, stuff like that. But just, I think the NFL kind of took it from us, where they just make it a whole deal. They have the WrestleMania, the Road to WrestleMania show. Just great marketing. And hopefully at last year's WrestleMania, they bring a lot of the old timers in, and it gives us another payday and another chance to be around the show, because it is the big time. I mean, no matter what, the WWE, even now so more than back in the day, that's why I was lucky to have this second run. I've lived every old timer's dream. I had my run in the 80s and early 90s and whatever, and then I did the Indies and went overseas a lot, and all of a sudden, boom, I got a chance to come back. But this time I got a chance to come back and enjoy it. Back in the old days, they were all, hey, let's go, next town. 100 miles an hour party, Now I'd get off the interstate, I'd drive through the west, out through California, Utah, and got a chance to really enjoy it and appreciate the business. So it was a great opportunity for me to have this second run.
With WrestleMania, is it a payday for each of these appearances that you're doing leading up?
Well,
to
I think they just glom it all together. They Johnny Ace or John Laurinaitis now. You gotta, how many appearances did you do? And it's such a huge deal. It's amazing, and it's that's why I always Wade Boggs, a baseball player, is a good friend of mine. I do a lot with the NFL Players Association. And I bust those guys' chops. I'm like, world champions? You guys been to Australia, Japan, Europe? I mean, the WWE is. This past year, I was down in Santiago, Chile, and Lima, Peru. I mean, and you know what ringside seats cost in Lima, Peru? 2 chickens and a goat. And it's like, ringside! But it's a phenomenon, and it's great to be part of it. But also you realize you're not part of the team. You're the equipment. It's the old North Dallas 40 deal. They're the team, Vince and Linda and Shane and Stephanie. That's the team. We're the equipment. But welcome to the real world.
But even back then in the 80s, WrestleMania was a major payday.
Yeah.
Being on that card meant a lot.
Being on that, and being actually on the show meant a lot. Not only, then just enhance just the rub you have off WWE. The last thing I think I'd done on camera with WWE was up in Calgary when Sergeant Slaughter was doing the blast in Canada, and they did the deal where okay, we're going to bring out the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be, and so they're all waiting for Brett, and they're like, go Duggan. And I come out with the American flag, and they're like, ah, but that's Vince. He takes it to the edge and pushes the envelope all the time.
The venue, the big convention center in Atlantic City where they did the WrestleMania IV under the Trump Plaza banner. I've heard the building criticized by some of the talent that was there because I don't know if it was just it's been attributed to the acoustics, but also the fact that the nature of Atlantic City, a lot of comps were given to gamblers and maybe not really wrestling fans. That the building wasn't as hot as some of the other. Do you remember any of this to be true?
Jeez, my match was hot.
Okay. There you go.
Maybe turn it up a little bit.
Crockett runs against WrestleMania, offering a free Clash of the Champions on cable. Were you guys aware, were you taking the competition seriously? WWE was at the top of its game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any competition for WWE. There's an alternative, and then there's a WWE. TNA is an alternative. WCW was, back when we all made the move, Hogan, Bischoff, or Hogan, Macho, and myself, we all went down there because that was offered contracts. So that one was a deal. Turner and Vince has this feud going, I guess. Vince, nobody was on contract. Ted Turner says, hey, you come down, I'll sign you to a 3-year no-cut contract. And for show you what a master is, we go down there, myself, Beefer, Hulkster. Of course, Hulkster's the man, he goes down there. We all follow. We go in there, we bump the stunning Steve Austin, who I beat so bad he had to shave his head and change his name. Sable, all those guys down there, they all came up here, and for 2 years, WCW was on top. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, right? But they all came up here. Vince the Master molds him and directs him and pushes him, and in 2 years, he crushes Turner, which has his own network. I think everybody appreciated Randy for what Randy is and does. I mean, he is Macho Man. He has nothing to do with powerful. He is Macho Man. So you got to kind of, I don't know if you respect that or not, but I mean, you knew he was 100% going in that direction. Mm-hmm. I always got along with Randy. I got along good with him. Until towards the end, after Spider-Man, I saw him in Philadelphia. I'm going to Atlantic City. I'm waiting for my bags to come off the carousel in Philly airport. And I look and I'm like, here comes Macho down the elevator. I'm like, it was not that long ago. Just recently after Spider, I'm like, hey, Macho brother, hey, how you doing? He goes, well, hello, Jim. I'm like, well, hello, Randy. Stand up again, short guy.
Not as warm as he could have been to you.
No, it's considering the past. There's something about wrestling, which I was reading in the USA Today, happens with movie stars a lot. You spend a certain length of time with guys or women or co-workers that you spend a lot of time with for a short period of time and become close, and then go separate ways to different territories and never see each other. A good story, my 3 best friends, 2 of them, Terry Gordy and Steve Williams, were tag team champions in Japan and had a great career in Japan. Doc and I lived together in Louisiana. Gordy and I lived together in Georgia. We were all best friends, but the 3 of us were never together at the same time. Yeah, in all those years.